With Christmas just around the corner, today we're making Filipino version of macaroni salad, which is a sweet and savory version. Now that Christmas is just around the corner, we're going to be making a Filipino version of macaroni salad. This version is a combination of sweet and savory. Of course, the first thing we're going to need is the macaroni. You can use the regular macaroni, or I prefer using the ditalini, which is half of that macaroni pasta. So if you see, it's smaller. It's like macaroni cut in half. So I prefer using this for this type of dish. But you can use regular macaroni you want, or if you want to try other pasta like fusilli, you can try any pasta you want. But traditionally, this is usually made with macaroni pasta. So here's our ingredients. So we're going to use about 1 pound of macaroni pasta. In this case, I'm going to be using ditalini. I'm going to need about 1 cup of cooked rotisserie chicken. You can boil chicken breast, or in this case, I bought a rotisserie chicken and shredded it because it already has that flavor from the rotisserie and you don't have to boil it or make a big deal out of it. So all you gotta do is just finely shred that so you don't have big chunks. Next thing we're gonna need is 1 red bell pepper, which I finely chopped. A 1/4 cup of pickled relish. I did not have, so what I did is I used a whole dill and I tried to mince it finely. So since the dill's slightly bigger, I'm using about a cup of that. Next, for texture, we're going to be using a 1/4 cup of carrots. That's pretty much just like half a small carrot I finely minced. Next, of course, the mayonnaise. Personally, I prefer the brand Lady's Choice, but I can't find it, so these are more common in where I live. It's the Hellmann's brand, but you can use any mayonnaise you want. Next will be the raisins. I prefer using the golden raisin in this, so that it's like you don't see black spots in your macaroni salad, but you can use any type of raisin you prefer, so you can use the black ones if you want. Next will be nata de coco, which is a coconut gel commonly used in the Philippines. This is optional for you if you can't find it. Of course, these are found in Asian markets, but if you don't want to use it or you can't find it, you can just leave this off. Same thing with the kaong. If you don't know what these are pretty much a sweet jelly made from coconut. We're gonna need about 1 cup of each of those. For the savory part, we're gonna need about 1 cup of ham, finely diced. Since I could not find any chunks of ham, what I did is I just used a deli ham and still sliced it into small pieces. Next is we're gonna need about 1/2 cup to 1 cup of shredded cheese. You can use any type of cheese you want, or if you want, you can use those blocks of cheese and then just kind of dice them into small pieces. We're also gonna need pineapple slices. I'm gonna need about 1 cup of those, and partially use some of the juice to flavor that macaroni, and that will give it a sweetness. For this brand, you can use, of course, Dole, which is more commonly used here in the States, but if I do see Del Monte, I usually prefer Del Monte brand. It has a more distinct flavor compared to Dole, which I highly prefer, especially on pineapple juices. And last is the condensed milk. Traditionally, I don't use this, but more and more people have been trying it, and I've tried it. It is pretty good, but I only use a little. So for this one, we're going to be using only a 1/4 cup. You can, of course, everything here is just a guideline. You can use as little, as much as you want, and you can opt out of some of the items if you don't want to use it. Kind of like the Asian ingredients like kaong and nata de coco. So it's up to you. You can play with the recipe. Again, this recipe is just a guideline on how I do my version. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cook our macaroni. Now we finished cooking our macaroni. Now we're just gonna let it sit here and rest as we put our ingredients together. Also, when I made this, I do not put oil on the water. For me, it prevents the oil from whatever sauce you're using from sticking to the pasta. I do the same thing for if I'm making spaghetti. I never use oil on the water being boiled. So, but then again, that's my opinion. But I do put a lot of salt. Make sure that water is very salty because that's the only way you can season that macaroni. So let's go to our ingredients. So in our large bowl, we already put in our pineapple. What I did is, if you're using the pineapple chunks, I still cut them into very small, well, not that small, but I mean smaller pieces. So far, this will be the largest piece you're gonna see in this salad. Right now, the juice, we're gonna save it for later because we're gonna add it to at the end to flavor or to sweeten our macaroni. Next thing we're gonna add in is pretty much every ingredients. We're gonna start off with the chicken. Again, this is chicken breast, the ham, the pickle. Again, if you have relish, use the relish. It's gonna save you time for of all that chopping. The carrot and the bell pepper. The carrot, again, all it does is just create texture, so you have something to kind of like crunch on as you're eating this. Next will be the kaong. Again, the kaong is pretty much just like a jelly, like a firm jelly compared to the nata. It's a sugar palm, and it's pretty much preserved in sweet syrup. So I'm just gonna use probably half a cup. It's up to you on how much you want to add in. Traditionally, this doesn't come with it, but more and more people have been using it, and I've tried it, and it is pretty good having this texture in the salad. Next is our coconut gel, or the nata de coco. It's pretty popular in Philippine cuisine or desserts, pretty much. So we're just gonna use about half of this, half a cup or 1 cup. Now we're gonna add in our mayonnaise. So just put probably a few spoonfuls for now, because we can always add more later if it's not thick enough. Next we're gonna add is the condensed milk. Don't put a lot, just put a little at a time, because you can always add in more later. Now let's mix everything together. Oh, I forgot to add in a pinch of salt to enhance the flavor. Now we got everything mixed, we're gonna add in our raisins. Now we have everything mixed together. Taste it. It's good, but it's not that sweet. Instead of putting more condensed milk, I prefer using the pineapple juice that came with the pineapple. Now everything's well mixed together, we're gonna add in our macaroni. Make sure to break them apart. Now we're gonna add in our shredded cheese. And give it a taste one more time. It's very nice. It's mild. If you want it more sweet, if you want it sweeter, add in more pineapple juice or more of that condensed. But I mean, I like mine mild. So this is actually perfect the way I like it. So what we're gonna do now is, since the pasta is still hot or warm, we're gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes. Then we're gonna put it in a container and refrigerate it for about 24 hours. So it's nice and chilled. Here's our finished dish. Filipino macaroni salad. Perfect for the holidays. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's recipe, and we will see you at the next one. Thank you for watching.